But anyway, it goes on, and it shows them. A 33-minute video shows the officers approaching Kelly, beating him, and then seeming to lay on top of him throughout the ordeal. He can be heard screaming, "Help me," among the police. Additionally, more than once he tells the officers that he cannot breathe. His death certificate rules his death a homicide and proclaims that he died from, guess what this, mechanical chest compression with blunt craniofacial injuries sustained during the physical altercation with law enforcement. No. I'm going to change it up. The video clearly shows that you have a bunch of out-of-control, overweight, fat pigs, pieces of thugs with their batons and their badges and their tasers whipping up on a skinny guy for no reason, just because he's homeless. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now that if you watch this video in entirety, you'll understand the guy is pleading for his life. He's saying, okay, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. And he hadn't done nothing. The big fat Latino guy is whipping his baton around, telling him to sit down, stick his legs out, but put his hands on his knees. He clearly says, I can't do both. What do you want me to do? In the video. Then I guess he just gets enough of him and says, I'm going to take my authority. I'm above the law. I'm a big fat police officer, and I can just beat anybody I want to. Sorry. I got to calm down. But you hear the man pleading for his life. Thumps of the police batons, the zapping of the taser. Watch the video. The beating starts around 15:20, but I'm telling you, it's graphic and it's very disturbing. Very, very, very disturbing. There's an original clip that was captured on a cell phone the Blaze shared last year. Kelly can be seen and heard screaming and pleading for help. Witnesses can be overheard discussing their perspective about the police officer's actions. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Out of the 6 officers who responded to this incident and were involved in the handling of Kelly, only 2 have been charged. Officer Manuel Ramos has been slapped with second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter charges on Corporal J, whatever his name is, has been given involuntary manslaughter excessive force charges. Now listen to this. Listen to this. You got to listen to this. By Cicinelli. We ran out of options. I got to the end of my taser and I probably just started smashing his face to hell. Listen to this. I've got to tell you people, listen to this. When you're being tasered, I've got 2 tasers right here close to me. Okay? Listen to me. When you're being tasered with 300,000 volts, how in the name of God are you supposed to put your hands behind your back? Over and over till the frickin' batteries run out. He's told, put his hand. How can you? You're jumping around. You're in convulsions. You're moving around. How can you put your hands behind your back? So this little piece of garbage thug that is not fit to be smothered with a dunghill of horse doo-doo, he says, I'm out of battery life, so I just start beating him in the face with the taser. You got to understand. You got to understand. You got to understand, people. You got to understand. The one with the baton and the one with the taser, they deserve the death penalty by the family of the homeless guy, and they deserve it today. Let them make their peace with the Creator. Let them come to Yahweh before it's too late, but they deserve the punishment of death. They deserve it by way of the family. And if the family chooses to beat them to death with his own taser and the batons on the other guy, I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with it at all, you see. I don't have a problem with it. I think anything else other than that is not just punishment. The video don't lie. The video don't lie. But it says they're currently in pretrial hearings. Pretrial hearings. As the court attempts to determine if there's enough evidence to move forward. If the court tries to determine if there's enough evidence to move forward, hey, let me ask you a question. everybody on the court, the judge and everybody, the district attorney, are you blind as a freaking bat? Can you not see? The video clearly shows them and what they've done. What do you mean if there's enough evidence? See, you got to understand something. Some of these articles I read, I cannot even believe that I'm reading them. I cannot. It's almost like, no, this cannot be true. This cannot be true that I'm having to read this. But now Wires, and I wish I had a way for him to call in, has been following this trial, and maybe one of these days we'll get some Skype going on here. As a matter of fact, I'm so upset, aggravated, and pissed off about this. Wires, why don't you go ahead? Why don't you go ahead and call in now? That way I can let some of my blood quit boiling. Go ahead, Wires, 347-945-6751. Please call in. Please call in. Tell me what you know about what's going on with these horrific, animalistic thugs that call themselves law enforcement officers. You know, I think I saw Wires put in the chat that one of them got shot in the eye. Well, that ain't good enough. But anyway, if he wants to call in, he can. I'm so sick to death of these things taking place to innocent people. I'm sick to death of we as the people that's supposed to be the ones that protect the innocent. We're supposed to be the ones that take care of business. We don't do it. You see? If these guys got what they deserved, they would be a freaking second thought before some fat, overweight, jack-booted thug beat the next homeless guy to death. Wires, if you don't want to call in, I understand. Hey, can you hear me? Go ahead. Go ahead if you can hear me. I can't hear you, Wires. Wonder why that is. Can you hear me, Wires? That don't even make any sense. Wires, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, go ahead, brother. What do you know about what's going on with this lately?
Okay, today the defense was saying that the video shows that they were never on the guy's chest. The guy died from his chest. It was compressed, right? And his ribs were broken, and which punctured his lungs, and he couldn't breathe, right? This is what the defense is saying, okay? And so they're blaming it on the EMT people that try to administer CPR to this dude. They're saying that that's what broke the ribs, which punctured his lung, which killed the man. Which
you believe that?
No. Come on, man.
I don't either.
Look at that guy's face.
Oh, yeah, I saw the video. Hey, look, they was on top of him. I watched the video this morning. They was on top. And both of them, I mean, and listen, I'm not beating up on people that are overweight, but these guys were profusely obese and on top of him, I'm telling you.
Another thing that I don't know if you know about, I didn't read the article on the Blaze, but there's a video of it where the cop told the guy to do something, and he was, you know, basically the dude just ignored him because he's got a psych problem, right?
Yep.
So the Mexican cop put on his gloves and said, well, these mother effers are going to make you do something.
Oh, I saw it, shaking his fist in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, so, you know, I really think they're going to walk, man. I really do. I really do.
I got to tell you, Wires, you may be right. With this kind of system we have, there's no justice. They may walk, but I got to tell you something. And that's exactly the reason I told the guy in the store this morning, you know, and I pack wherever I go. It ain't that I'm afraid. It's just that, you know, I got my wife with me and everything, and it ain't finna happen. There ain't going to be no dragging me out of the car. There ain't going to be no beating me with no baton and tasing me to death and then trying to get out of it. I'd had rather be what? Tried by a jury of 12 than I had toted out by 6 in a pine box.
Right.
That's just me. I'm not trying to get you to agree with it, but I'm simply telling you This happens all the time, and you're right, a lot of them do walk. But the video clearly shows the big fat son of a gun's on him, and it shows him beating him with the baton. It shows him kicking him, too, in the side of his. It shows it. I mean, you got to be Ray Charles, okay? You got to be blind and dead not to understand this.
Right. Well, here's the way I stand with something like that. If I get into a situation where I'm being cussed at, then it's on. All right? Before then, I'll be, I'll be pretty meek.
Well, I'm going to be nice, too, but he's talking about, you see him swinging that baton when he was shaking his fist before that? He was swinging that baton at him, twirling it like he was doing some kind of, I don't know, just trying to get the guy to do something. Stop it. Yeah. I'm doing a show. Get out of here. Go ahead.
Yeah, the guy was doing nothing illegal in the first place, So, I don't know what the deal is. I know the other cop was shot in the face a year before this incident. So he might be a little, I don't know what he's doing on the street. He might be a little sketchy. He had pulled someone over and got a bullet right in his face, took his eye out. So, that's no excuse. But,
There's no proof and has never been any proof about the guy breaking in anything. They responded to vehicles being broken in, according to what I read. But at the same time, none of that video asked him anything about breaking into vehicles. They said that they had dealings with him before, but obviously everything had been peaceful. You know what I mean? And it was peaceful up to the point they started beating him to death, and then he did not even fight back, man. He was trying to cover himself from getting killed.
Well, that's another thing. If he's not fighting, what are they doing? What are they using the force for?
Oh, I'm telling you what they're doing. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what they're doing. They have a brotherhood, okay? Them friends of mine in Georgia that had to quit the force, black guys and white guys, when they really got saved, they said there's a spirit under that law enforcement, and they had to quit. They had to give it up because, you know what? Just like, remember, I don't know if y'all remember me telling you this, but that sheriff in Wilcox County, I told y'all for years, was corrupt and crooked. He was beating the living daylights out of a guy, too. And guess what? They snatched his badge, snatched everything from him. He may get 20 years. I hope he gets it.
Yeah.
They're thugs, man. They're thugs. There's some good ones, Wires, but most of them are thugs, man.
Well, yeah. I've run into some good ones, and I've seen a whole lot of bad ones on the news. That's for sure. Thank God I've never run into anything like this.
Because, hey, and I pray neither one of us ever do, because it's like you said, it's going to be on. They go to, when I ain't done nothing. Yeah, if they want to stop me for a tail light out or something and say, you need to get your tail light, I'm all for it. Thanks for letting me know. But, coming up to somebody for nothing like this and just starting swinging a baton and beating them half to death and then finishing them off, I'm going to tell you what killed him. There is no way to come back from tasing like that till the battery runs out. Listen to me. I've got 2 tasers right in front of me, 300,000 volts apiece. And let me tell you something. They'll run a long time, brother. They'll run a long time. And then run out of battery and just start beating the HE double hockey sticks out of them in the face with the taser with your fist balled up. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I got to calm down. My blood pressure's up.
Yeah, his face is real bad, real messed up. And
awful, man.
That's way over that's way over, man. It's just like, I think maybe the Mexican guy will get, I don't know, maybe a year, maybe 2. Who knows? But I know, I have no doubt that he's going to walk as far as murder or manslaughter or anything like that. He's not going to be serving no big time for what he did. That's for sure. He's going to lose his job, which is a good thing. But, they got a problem over there in Fullerton. Well, a lot of police departments have a problem, but... Oh,
every one of them have a problem. I'm running out of time here. They all have a problem. There's good people there, but most of it, I'm going to tell you something. I got no use for them, just like I don't for the politicians. I got no use for them. And, it'd be very healthy for them to leave me alone and just let me go my way. And maybe that's why it ain't never happened to you and I and other people like us. That, Satan himself knows who to mess with and who not to, Hey, I'm out of time, Wires. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for getting us up.
Take care.
Hey, you too, brother. Okay, the wire, she says it'll go over for a minute. Okay, that's great. But, okay, that's dropped. All right. Here we go. I'm out of time. Listen, I've got to tell y'all some disappointing news that probably I've got to work on something for a guy. Try to make me $50, $70, whatever. I got to go. I'll see y'all. I will not be live tonight, okay? I'm going to try to play something, but I ain't going to be able to be there. Adios.